thanks for stopping by and clicking on this video. This week we're going to have a look at DAWs and how they work. If you're unsure of who I am and what I'm doing and why I'm speaking to you, or you want to check out more about me and my credentials, then follow this video here, okay, where I've initially introduced myself. You can also take a look at my website here, where I've just updated it with a recent testimonial from John Kong of Left Wing and Cody, who mentored me for the last 6 months as well. So let's have a look. Moving on, we're going to have a look at Logic today. I have a session open here with Logic, and I just want to explain basically the basics of a DAW, what it does, how it works, and what you would need to use it for when you're making house music. So one of the first things you would need to do is when you start with your DAW is adjust some settings so that you can then use your MIDI controllers and your audio interface with it. So normally you would go to a settings tab within your DAW and you would click on your audio tab, and here you can select your output device, which is where you will be connecting to your headphones and your speakers so that you can hear the music that you're making, and an input device as well if you're going to record instruments. An important setting that you might want to adjust or play around with is the I/O buffer size, this one here. Now, the lower buffer size you have, the more responsive your keyboard will be. So if you have a MIDI keyboard connected and you want to play some software synthesizers, when you press the keys on your keyboard, then you will hear those synthesizers react immediately, okay? If you have a high buffer set in here, you'll get what's called latency, which is a small delay from the time that you press your keyboard key to the time that you hear the sound in your ears, okay? So lower settings are better for playing live, but then if you have a large project with lots of audio and you're at a mixing stage, then you can adjust this to a higher setting, which will then prevent your computer processor from, let's say, being taxed or made to work too hard, okay? So if you find that you're mixing and your computer is running out of processing power when you're adding plugins and audio tracks and so on, then this will be the setting that you would need to adjust and change that to a higher setting for mixing and a lower setting for when you're playing your instruments and recording, okay? So those are one of the first things that you need to look at. Then you have your MIDI settings here. Here you'll connect your controller keyboards to your device, and then it gets recognized here by your DAW, and then you can select which ones you're going to use for your instruments, or even use the knobs and sliders on it to control things like parameters of different software synthesizers, or even the mixer within your DAW. So that's one of the first things that you would need to look at is when you're first opening your DAW. These are the settings that you'll be prompted to adjust by the software. Normally it guides you through that step by step, and then you can change those settings to meet your needs, okay? Right, so what I've got here first of all is, like I said, it's a session in Logic, and I've got 2 tracks up on the side. So generally what happens is you have your transport controls, which are normally like this, okay? So you have a stop, a play, a record, and then you have these buttons here which allow you to advance through your song. Your song starts here, you'll have a playhead, which I'm dragging here, and as you start your song, that starts to move and play any audio or MIDI that you've recorded so that you can hear sound. So that's then how you can start listening to your music you've made, or you can record things as well. So normally, in order to be able to record into your DAW, you have to select the track that you want to record into by clicking on it. You'll have a record button, or sometimes it's called an arm button. That normally then gets your track ready so that when you start playing notes or recording yourself singing or playing an instrument, then you'll start to see then the audio or MIDI being shown in this space here, which is your arranger window. So as I said, your timeline starts here, and then it goes from left to right. Then depending on how long your song is, it will play for the duration of the song until you stop it or stop recording. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly just go back to the beginning, select this track here, and what I've done is on this track I've loaded software instrument, very popular software instrument that is used by the majority of house music and dance music producers, called Serum. has many presets for you to choose from. You can buy preset packs and load them in if you want additional sounds. So here it has a picture of a keyboard, which you can click on to make noises, or you can click on what we call a piano roll, and that is showing you then the same sort of keyboard. Okay, and here is a copy of your playhead as well. So as you're recording, this will move along as you're inputting notes into your arrangement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by recording just a very quick sequence on the MIDI keyboard, and then you'll see that a MIDI region will be recorded here and some notes will be recorded within that region as well. So let's just have a little test here. So you can see that the audio is working here from the actual MIDI instrument. We can hear that playing. So if I just press record, and then I can start recording some information into this track. And then I can stop, and then you can see that the information that I have just played, or the notes that I have played, have been recorded first of all on the track here. So this is the MIDI region, and then if I just remove that, I can double click that, opens this piano roll, and then I can close it and open it here as well. And this is showing me then that the notes that I've just recorded. So if I was to press play, and I can listen to those again. Now it may sound a little bit different to what I played originally, and that's because the position of the notes hasn't been what we call quantized when I first played them. This note here, I don't know if you can see, it's overlapping the start of the MIDI region. So that means that this note will be missed when I first press play on the transport here. So we didn't hear that note being played, but we heard these. That can be quickly fixed by just dragging the end of this note over, and then when I start again. Okay, so you can fix things like that as well. So if you notice that your note's not playing, it might be because you've just started playing just before the beginning of the region, and then that's the reason it's not recorded. So that's how you record MIDI. Here I have an audio track. What we can do with the audio track is we can record live audio, such as my voice if I was singing, or if I have a guitar or something else connected to my sound card or audio interface. We can play that instrument, and then the audio will be recorded here. Most DAWs also have what we call a browser and a loop library. So in Logic, okay, this can be switched on over here, and here we have lots of different sounds that we can preview from here. So we can select genre and then find something interesting that we maybe want to listen to. Drum beats, okay. So if I find something I like, then I want to add it to this, I can click, drag, and drop it into the audio path here, and then I can listen to both of these together like this. Now obviously at the start it sounds good, but then it sort of goes a little bit out of time, which means that I would need to correct the position of these notes by selecting them, maybe moving them along the timeline slightly so that they are then in time with the beat. That's something else we can do with our audio and MIDI information here. Yeah, we can continue then add in more tracks and gradually then build up our songs. If we want to loop regions, which means extend them so that they play for longer, I can click on the end here and drag them out. I can also select some regions and then hold in a key command on my keyboard. In Logic, it's the Option key. Click, and I can drag and I can copy then that audio and MIDI across so that I can extend the length of my song as well. So those are some of the basic features that you will find in a DAW for recording. Let's have a quick look at the mixer. So here we've got a mixer page, and this strip here is for my MIDI instrument. And then if I select this one, you can see that each time I click on one of the tracks, it selects this channel strip here. a volume fader so that you can then adjust things which you're listening to. So if I just mute this MIDI track a moment, so just we're listening to the beat, what I'll do then is start again from the beginning. So now you can see that this is playing on only this channel. It's also playing in this channel as well. This is what we call the stereo out, or your main mix bus. Okay, so everything gets routed into this one. So if I now mute the audio and then just play the MIDI, you can see that this channel and this channel are also producing audio as well. Now what you normally find in these channel strips is that you'll have a slot where you can put additional effects. Okay, so if I click on this one here, your DAW will come with lots of different effects that are what we call stock plugins, and you can buy additional plugins which you want to add and load into these from different manufacturers. Generally you'll find then that you have a large choice of options in terms of what we call effects that you want to add. So if I was to go to modulation, or maybe let's choose something pretty obvious like a delay or echo, I'll put that on the drum beat, and then what I'll do is I'll just play the drum beat. So that you can then hear how that was affecting the drum beat. Now, normally you wouldn't put an echo like that on a drum beat, but I just wanted to give you a dramatic example of showing you how effects work and how they can be used. I'll just do that one more time. Okay, so you can turn them on and off. So there we go, that's the effects that you can add into your channel strips as well. So this is just some basic functions you'll normally find in a DAW. I want to go over those so that will give you an idea of how to get started and the basic functions that you can do to start recording your own music using loops, using MIDI, okay, and software instruments. So yeah, I hope you found this video helpful. And if you do and you want to see more content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe, and then I'll release more videos, hopefully on a weekly basis. So thanks for watching and take care.